Hi guys, Darth here, back on our Star Wars Vintage Collection action figure review. Today taking a look at another Mandalorian from the Clone Wars. It is the Mandalorian Super Commando Captain. We got the Super Commando earlier this year, and now I finally have got my hands on the Captain, a figure I've wanted them to make for a long time. I really like this design for Mandalorian armor. And now we finally have it. I do have him on the card here to show you. I did pick up a couple of these. I have another one loose, and I was originally going to just have one loose and one carded, but both of the versions of the figures that I got from Big Bad Toy Store both had a crease on them, so I'm just going to open them both and maybe hunt down another one. I have a pre-order for one more on Amazon. Maybe that one will come in and it'll be in good shape, and I'll keep that on the card. But yeah, taking a quick look at the card back, we got the Star Wars Clone Wars logo there, Mandalorian Super Commando Captain figure, and a pretty nice image of the Super Commando Captain, probably from what I would say is his most memorable of his very few scenes where he appears when Satine is trying to escape from the prison, I think, in one of the Darth Maul Mandalore episodes. So very cool. On the back, other figures that are available. Recently, I reviewed most of these. I just reviewed previously the Mandalorian Death Watch Airborne Trooper. I've also reviewed Ahsoka Fennec, the Ahsoka Clone Trooper, on my channel as well if you want to check those out. But yeah, that's pretty much all I gotta say about the packaging. So I'll put him off to the side, and we will take a look at the actual figure. Put this down. And here we have the actual figure. And very good. It reuses the previously released from this year's Super Commando mold that they've been using for a number of the Mandalorians, the Clone Wars Mandalorians they've been putting out. And it's a really, really good mold. So if you have any of those previous figures, you already know you're going to have something good here. But taking a look at him closer, there are a few differences. Of course, the helmet being a main one. He doesn't have a rangefinder, but he does instead have the horns to pay homage to Darth Maul, which I think looks super good. And they look fairly good. They're not like super sharp or anything, but they don't look too like stubby or anything like that, which I think is nice. And then you've got the Darth Maul style paint on there, which I think looks really good and is applied pretty nicely and cleanly onto the helmet, which looks great. You also have a new top piece for these new shoulder pads that also have these spikes on them, which look good. More of those Darth Maul themed colors and markings, which I think looks great as well. And then you got these little dings of silver on different parts of the armor. Or actually, I think it looks like it's only on the torso. It's not on the legs or the shoulder pad, which is a little weird, but not a big deal. Very nice. Another kind of interesting thing is the Super Commando Captain has like this light brownish jumpsuit instead of having like the darker black or gray that the Death Watch Mando or the other normal Super Commandos have, which I think is kind of interesting. Changes up the colors a little bit. Gauntlets are exactly the same that we've seen on the Super Commando, normal Super Commando. No differences there. They did paint a bit of silver where like the Whistling Birds launcher is at, which is pretty nice. And everything else is the same. The cod piece there looks pretty good. The holsters, shin guards and everything. Red shin guards with gray. Looks nice. Yeah, it's a really good looking figure. I'm super happy that this version of the Mandalorian warrior has finally come out as an articulated figure. This has been a long time coming. In terms of articulation, if you've had any of the previous figures that own this mold, you know exactly what you're getting. But running over it again, he does have the new dumbbell joint in the neck. Looks down decently. Doesn't look up that well, which is a bit unfortunate for a character that you might want to have flying with his jetpack. Pivot's okay. Rotation. Ball and shoulders move very well. The shoulder pads are soft plastic to get out of the way. Rotation. Single hinges the elbows move past 9, which is great, and then swivels at the wrist, as well as up and down hinges for blaster poses, which is also great. Torso joint moves pretty good. Hip joints, if you can wedge that underneath the belt, move decently. Good spread. Kick out all the way, kick back just a little bit, swivel cut at the thigh, single hinge at the knee, goes about 90, and single hinge at the ankle, moves down a lot, moves up a bit, and then pivots. So great articulation. You're going to get pretty much everything that you want out of this guy for poses for the most part. Like I said, if you want to do some flight poses, it might be a bit challenging, but everything else is pretty good. In terms of accessories, comes with the same loadout that every other Clone Wars Mandalorian figure has been coming with. Of course, the jetpack. It is painted decently, but it is reuse of, I think, every single Mando from Clone Wars, as well as the Mandalorian, Death Watch Mandalorian, have all come with the same jetpack. So it's become pretty standard issue at this point, but just plugs in. It goes on pretty securely. It's not going to just fall off. That's good. You also, of course, get the Mando style pistols, which are just cast in gray. No paint apps, unfortunately, but they're pretty good. Holds them decently well, and then you can also store them in the holsters. I do find that the holsters and the pistols are pretty tight. It's pretty tight fit, and the pistols are made of a relatively soft plastic, so you won't break them, but it can make them pretty tough to actually get into the holsters properly, but it can be done. And they hold them decently as well. And of course, you also get the Mando style Clone Wars rifle, which I'm glad they've been including with all these figures. And this can also be held in the hands pretty well. It is a larger grip than the pistols, so if you want to have him holding the rifle for a while, and then you want to hold the pistols, you might have to heat up the hand or try to get the hand to close back in a bit, because it is going to stretch the hand out a bit. But yeah, overall, great amount of accessories. It comes with everything it needs to come with, pretty much. So yeah, very cool. Doing some comparisons real quick. Here he is with my last review, my previous review, the Death Watch Airborne Trooper Mandalorian, and they look good together. And here he is with the guys he'll be commanding, the Super Commandos, standard ones, and they look really nice together. And then moving this one, of course, here he is with their master, Darth Maul. And, oh, he fell. But, and he fits in. They fit in really well with Maul. Super awesome to have his Mandos flanking him. And I've already built the Super Commandos a bit. I have 4 of these guys now, and I'll have 2 captains. I don't know if that number will grow from there, but yeah, pretty happy to have these guys. Some of my favorite looking Mandos and Troopers, so very cool. Overall, that's pretty much all I have to say. Not too much to say, because I just talked about the Airborne Trooper Mandalorian, and they're pretty much the same figure, just different paint for the most part. It is a really awesome figure. If you're a vintage collection collector and you've been collecting the Mando stuff, Clone Wars stuff, I think it's definitely a must-have. All these Mando figures have been absolutely awesome, and this one might be my favorite of the bunch, because I really like this design. I'm not sure. I also really like the standard Super Commando, even though he doesn't have the cool spikes or whatever. The paint on him is really, really nice. So I don't know. I'll have to decide at some point which one I like more. But yeah, very cool figure. I definitely recommend. Anyways, thank you guys so much for watching. Let me know what you think down in the comments below. And I'll see you all in the next one. May the Force be with you.